We have some breaking news to get to and more developments coming out of Iran on this Wednesday morning. Taking a look here at a social media post that I want to bring up, posted by President Donald Trump. And this is on an armada that is being sent there. So
breaking news enters the record. A presidential warning, a massive armada, and a ticking clock. The charge, force as diplomacy. The question, bluff or brinkmanship.
This was via Truth Social, the president saying this, quote, "A massive armada is heading to Iran. It is moving quickly with great power, enthusiasm, and purpose. It is a larger fleet headed by the great aircraft carrier Abraham Lincoln than that sent to Venezuela. Like with Venezuela, it is ready, willing, and able to rapidly fulfill its mission with speed and violence if necessary. Hopefully, Iran will quickly come to the table and negotiate a fair and equitable deal. No nuclear weapons, one that is good for all parties. Time is running out. It is truly of the essence. As I told Iran once before, make a deal. They didn't, and there was Operation Midnight Hammer, a major destruction of Iran. The next attack will be far worse. Don't make that happen again. Thank you for your attention to this matter." Bringing us out to this live image that we have of the White House over in Washington, D.C. And I just want to recap some of the latest reporting courtesy of the Associated Press. So as we did break the fact that the president has announced that a massive armada is heading to Iran via his social media platform, Truth Social, the AP most recently also saying this, that President Trump warned also other countries there in that area, including Iraq, this happening on Tuesday, that the U.S. would no longer support the country if its former prime minister returns to power. Concerning Iraq, Trump made the threat days after the dominant political bloc known as the Coordination Framework, which is a collection of parties, announced it was backing the nomination of the former prime minister, who the U.S. administration views as too close to Iran. Now, a lot of headlines were coming out of the Middle East this week. As you know, also the final remains of a hostage that was still being held by Hamas were returned as well to Israel. We're following all of these developments very closely, but these protests in Iran do continue as well. The AP saying this, that Iranian officials reached out to the wider Middle East on Wednesday, so today, over the threat of a possible U.S. military strike on the country. It comes a month since the start of protests in Iran that soon spread nationwide and sparked a bloody crackdown. Two nations, Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, have signaled they will not allow their airspace to be used for any attack, but America has moved the USS Abraham Lincoln and several guided missile destroyers into the region, which can be used to launch attacks from the sea. And that goes back to the post that we showcased from President Trump. Now, it remains unclear what President Trump will decide about using force, though he laid down two red lines: the killing of peaceful demonstrators and the possible mass execution of detainees. The protests saw more than 6,000 people killed as Iran launched a bloody crackdown on those demonstrations, with many others feared dead. That's according to what activists had to say on Wednesday. Now, monitoring the situation very closely, also Iran's state-run media, which now only refers to protesters as terrorists, remains the sole source of news for many, as Tehran cut off access to the global internet some 3 weeks ago. But Iranians have become angry and anxious in the weeks since, seeing footage of protesters shot and killed, while worrying about what may happen next as the country's economy sinks further. Just want to bring up here one more time that social media post via Truth Social by President Trump. A massive armada is heading to Iran. It is moving quickly with great power, enthusiasm, and purpose. He finishes off by saying that time is running out and it is truly of the essence, saying, quote, "As I told Iran once before, make a deal. They didn't, and there was Operation Midnight Hammer, a major destruction of Iran. The next attack will be far worse. Don't make that happen again."
The warning is on record and the clock is ticking. When diplomacy is backed by fleets, the margin for error disappears. In this court, escalation carries the heaviest sentence.